Bueno, y estamos de regreso en el programa panorámico del Tecnológico Monterrey Campus Guadalajara y estamos hablando con Pia Simonson, que nos está platicando acerca de su experiencia en la comunidad internacional. So Pia, we were talking about your scholarship and how you got that opportunity. So what does this consist of? What do you have to do? What kind of projects does it involve?
It depends which of the universities you're accepted to, and at Duke we focus on international development policy. So we have a number of core subjects that we have to do, you know, economics, public policy, these sorts of things. And we also do a number of subjects that look at peace and conflict. And as part of that, we also have our master's project, which is like a mini thesis.
And what is that? What are you working on? Do you get to choose a specific area that you like in this scholarship?
Absolutely, yeah. It's very flexible. That's the nice thing about it. You can, depending on the kind of things that you're interested in, you can choose to apply to the school that best suits you. So for me, international development policy meant I went to Duke. So my master's project is looking at post-conflict countries and how we can design development projects to stop conflicts from reoccurring, because there's such a strong link between development and conflict. You know, if you're poor,
absolutely,
you have a good reason to be angry at the world.
Is there a specific area, or maybe not area, but country or a problem that you're focusing on?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at 3 World Bank projects in Afghanistan, Timor-Leste and Rwanda. And I'm comparing those community-driven development projects and trying to come up with ways that they can improve their efficiency and that they can stop conflicts from reoccurring.
Now, do you do all the work at the university, or does this imply traveling to different areas? Or
as part of the scholarship, we actually do an internship over the summer in between the 2 years. So I went back to Geneva for the second time and I worked with the International Labour Organization. And I was working on what they call DDR, demobilization, I've forgotten the first D, demobilization, demilitarization and reintegration, which is basically soldiers trying to reintegrate them into normal society after a conflict ends. So I was working on some reports around that.
That's very interesting. So at what stage are you now, and what are you working on presently right now?
Well, I am hopefully going to graduate in May, and I'm just putting the final touches on a few subjects and hoping that my professors like them and that May will come and go smoothly.
So what's in the future? Any specific plans, or what's ahead?
It's sort of a really big question mark. At the moment, I'm hoping to maybe work in Europe again and to work with an international organization like the UN or the European Union, looking at development and conflict. I think I've been speaking to some of the students here who are in their 8th and 9th semesters, and I think they're also asking themselves the same kind of questions of what am I going to do when I graduate. And I think international development can be a bit of a difficult area to work in, because unlike engineering or medicine or business, there isn't such a clear path forwards. There are lots of different ways of engaging. You can work for NGOs, for the Foreign Service, for universities and education. So I think sometimes we get a little bit swamped by the choices.
Now, do you still stay in touch with the past projects you've done with the organizations? Do you continue that, or is that more of a beginning and end of a project and move on to the next?
I guess it depends. I went back to Geneva and worked with an organization that I'd worked with before and got to hang out with all my old friends, which is great. I still work with the Timorese embassy sometimes. I help out in different ways, and I'm trying to encourage Timorese students to apply for the same fellowship as me, because I think it's a great opportunity. So there's some nice continuities, and you know, living in different parts of the world, you make friends who become like your family, and it's lovely to keep in touch with those friendships.
Absolutely. It's part of networking. I guess that's another tool, important tool for students to have, keep in touch with the people that you worked with and stuff. Now, how's your stay in Mexico going?
Great. I'm actually a little bit upset I don't have time to see more of this country, because it's so rich in terms of the arts and the food and the history.
Is this your first time in Guadalajara?
It's my first time in Mexico.
The entire country?
Yeah.
How about South America, the whole, or Central America, or North America, the Americas?
Before this, I had been to the Dominican Republic. So for me, it's a really new experience that I'm really enjoying. So it's a beautiful country.
So Spanish is not really in there yet?
No.
We'll have to work on that.
I think so.
All right, well, out of this whole experience, what has been the best part? What would you pinpoint as the highlight of your career so far?
Ouch. Difficult question. I think being able to live in different parts of the world and to see different cultures and how we perceive and value the world. I think being privileged enough to see radically different approaches to life is something that
really
I enjoy.
that has you had just had no idea that it really impacted you. You just had no idea that was there in life in our world.
That's a really hard question. I mean, I think luck plays a really big part of your career and your life. I met the Timorese ambassador, we'd made contact, but I met him at a bus stop late at night during an international conference in Geneva. And from that, got a job in Brussels, and from that, got this scholarship, and from this, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. So I think luck and sometimes just being in the right place at the right time and putting your hand up has a lot to go for, has a lot.
So I know international relations studies is a broad area, and there's many areas that you can focus on. Any specific reason why you decided to go on peace and conflict?
Well, I guess as I said, my family, the history of my family has been affected by conflict, and I think personally I just get angry at the world when I see injustice and I see things that I think are wrong and I want to do something about it. And I think of development as helping people to make decisions about their lives. It's not just this idea of material development, and I think part of that is also that you should be able to live a life free of conflict. So that's why I'm involved in this area, and I think peace and conflict are not things that we should talk about at the international level between heads of state. I know Hillary Clinton is coming to Mexico City next week. I think we can embody peace and conflict in our own relationships. And
so maybe teaching is there for you. Now that you're having that experience, or helping teach at least, is there any possibility you might be interested in that department?
It's funny, I get that question quite a lot, but I think I have two parents who are teachers, so I might end up there one day, but just at the moment I'm not. But I think education and learning about our to make informed decisions about these sorts of issues and even our interpersonal relationships is something that I believe really strongly in.
All right, well, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your stay, the rest of your stay here in Guadalajara, and it was great having you. Bueno, pues muchas gracias. Llegamos al fin de este programa panorámico desde el Campus Guadalajara del Tecnológico de Monterrey, y bueno, los esperamos la siguiente semana. Gracias.